Right now, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is in Green Bay with Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, the candidate he's endorsing in the Democratic primary for governor. They're meeting with voters and supporters at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 158, as Evers lays out why he believes Crowley is the best candidate and has the track record to deliver for working families across the state. Crowley, as we said, the Milwaukee County Executive and a former state lawmaker, dropped out of the Democratic primary in July, then re-entered days later after Sarah Rodriguez left the field, this time with Evers' endorsement. Our Mary Piacenti is there. She'll have an exclusive sit-down with Governor Evers as he rallies primary voters alongside Crowley. That's coming up tonight on Action 2 News at 5. Democratic candidate for governor Kelly Roy is also spending her day in Northeast Wisconsin, holding a town hall at Vintage Rose Bakery in De Pere. Roy says she's seen a surge of support since last month's debate and argues she's the proven progressive leader with experience in both the public and private sectors.
I'm asking for everyone's vote on August 11th so that we can raise wages, lower costs, and give the best public schools to our kids in the nation.
Royce is also touting a plan to let any Wisconsinite buy into the state employee health insurance plan, saying it would lower costs and help keep rural hospitals open. Right now, she's closing out her day by hosting a tailgate at Family Fest for Packers Family Night until about 6 o'clock tonight. Two other Democratic candidates for governor also out on the campaign trail today. Francesca Hung in Superior, Wisconsin, speaking with supporters at the Douglas County Democratic headquarters. And Joel Brennan spent the day at the Wisconsin State Fair in Milwaukee County. Republican frontrunner Tom Tiffany also campaigning at the State Fair today. And we reached out to the other GOP candidate, Andy Mansky. He has not yet responded, did not have any public campaign stops listed on his website. Well, the primary election next Tuesday, August 11th, it will decide which Democrats and Republicans move on to the general election ballot for the governor and other key races. The general election November 3rd, where voters will choose Wisconsin's next governor. And coming up